Hey everybody, Mike here, and today, we're talking about leather. So the reason that I'm making this video is because I was in contact with this company, A Solo. They said, hey, we want you to try some boots out. Why don't you tell us which ones you want? And I picked these. These are the A Solo 520 GVs. That means Gore-Tex version. You can see they're all leather. And the reason I picked these is because they just kind of tickled that nostalgia button a little bit. And the guy on the other end of the line said, well, why would you pick those when the synthetic boots is what everybody wants? But that begged the question, do these guys even have a place anymore? So we're gonna start with the negatives because I think that's easier. Leather is a heavier material, so by default, they're gonna be significantly heavier. It's not an entirely fair comparison because these are designed to be very, very lightweight and these are big old tanky boots, but just holding these, I'll tell you that this arm is a little bit more strained. These guys are heavy and leather boots often are much heavier, which is a downside because if you're hiking miles and miles and miles, you want the least amount of weight strapped to your feet. So they're heavier, they're less cheap to produce. I know that's kind of a big deal with companies. They want to produce something that they can sell a lot of and that doesn't cost them an arm and a leg, which adds to the reasons why the market has shifted more towards synthetics. And another big reason is that these guys here are much, much harder to break in. So I've put some miles on these things and you can tell, you hear that? It's like ASMR, right? You can tell that these things aren't very flexible, whereas these I haven't even worn yet. They're right out of the box. Look at this. Ooh, that's a big difference, right? This shoe has a lot more mobility coming right out of the box, whereas this shoe here is still pretty stiff. We used to get blisters a lot back in the leather boots day. You broke in a new pair of boots and you would obviously wind up with a bunch of blisters because that break-in period is a lot longer, whereas I can't remember the last time that a new pair of boots like this gave me those blisters. So those are the big downsides, and with downsides like that, it's obvious to see why the market has shifted more towards synthetics. So now let's talk about the benefits of the leather boots, and we're going to start with the most obvious one that people talk about, and that's that they are just more durable. These guys here stand up to a lot of damage. If there is damage to this boot significant enough to hinder the boot's functionality, then chances are something has actually punctured it and you may need to go to the hospital. Another big benefit is that they are more waterproof by default. So something to remember about this is that this leather is skin. That's what it is. It's designed to be pretty waterproof on a biological level. So most shoes come with a layer of waterproofing on them. Over time, this layer of waterproofing may wear off with a shoe like this. It may wear off with a shoe like this. But it's very, very easy to retreat leather boots. All you got to do is spray them and it takes really, really well. Another benefit is that the damage that this boot receives is going to be purely cosmetic. So you can see the front here, we're scratched up, we're scuffed already. This kind of damage might not be so good if it was on a synthetic shoe. If you had this kind of wear and tear on, I don't know, maybe this section of the shoe here, well, that's damage. That's actually hindering the performance of the boot, where all it's doing here is just making it look really cool. Because the more beat up a leather shoe is, the cooler you look. Another good thing about these is that they're pretty multi-purpose. If you're just kind of an outdoors person who maybe the kit that you're buying isn't specifically for ultralight hiking or long distance hiking, then maybe you want something that is a little bit more multi-purpose. Maybe you need something for outdoor work. Maybe you need something for hunting, fishing. This kind of boot right here is good for all of that. So if I was to go help my brother cut down a tree, as I have often found myself doing whenever I'm visiting for the holidays, this is what I'd want to wear. Because if a branch fell on this, wouldn't be so bad. If a branch fell on this, yikes, it might be a little bit rough. So if you're looking for something that is going to work for lots and lots of different outdoor activities, this right here is your guy. And finally, and I think this is the most important rule of all, let me introduce you to a concept called the rule of cool. So the rule of cool states that if you like something and you think it's cool, just let it ride. This is cool. If you think leather boots are cool, then great. You can wear these out to a bar. The girls, they'll think you're cool. Guys will think you're cool. Everybody will think you're cool if you've got a big pair of turbo leather boots that are all beat up from years worth of adventure. These will be a cool thing in your closet. One day, these may be grandpa's boots, you know? The kids may see them and say, dang, there's been some miles put in those. These, and these, and these, and these. They're probably not gonna last that long. I don't think these are ever gonna be grandpa's shoes. And that's not a problem. I'm not bashing them. I'm just saying that longevity-wise, these guys right here, they've got it in the bag. So if you're thinking about getting a pair of leather shoes, leather boots, then by all means, I say let it rock. Nobody's gonna stop you. Don't worry what the fashion police have to say. If you're trying to be really practical, then this is good. These are great. They are very, very popular for a reason. These guys right here, there's also a place for them. I guess that's the end of this video. Remember, rule of cool, do what you want to do. Don't ever let anybody else tell you what to do, even if it's the police. All right, thank you all. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you later.